Hello and welcome to your tarot forecast for the new moon in Cancer 2022. So if you're new to this channel and unfamiliar with the format of the readings that happen every new and full moon, there are two parts to this reading. The first part is for the general collective, which you'll find wherever you're watching this, be it YouTube, Instagram, maybe even Facebook. And then there's a more hyper-focused reading that happens over on my Patreon. So patreon.com/Michelle Shea is where all the action is. If this reading resonates for you, you better be sure that that other reading is going to resonate because it is a smaller pool of energy that I'm reading from. And without further ado, we're going to dive into our general collective reading. So we're going to start with our Total Betty Goddess deck card. So this is a deck of my creation, and I only have 14 of these decks left in stock. This is the last time you have an opportunity to buy this incarnation of the deck. You also have the option to get the coloring guidebook as well. And I'm doing a little special deal for those that watch these videos and follow me on social media, where if you simply write in the memo notes that you want an extra guidebook with your order, I will send you a guidebook for free. So those are over at michelleshewalker.com/shop. And again, I only have 14 left. So get on that quickly because when they're gone, they're gone. I don't have any more of this version and I won't be printing any more of this version. So if you've been putting off putting in your order, this is your sign. Now is the time. So we're going to shuffle up the Total Betty Goddess deck and we are going to find out what goddess is residing over this Cancer new moon. So I have a sun sign in Cancer and quite frankly a moon in Pisces. So I have very watery energy. So I have no problem with the new moon in Cancer energy, but you might be feeling a little more emotional than usual. If that's the case, as a Cancer sun sign, I just got to tell you, it's all about self-care. And also, there's no shame in having a good cry. So with that in mind, our goddess of this new moon is Nemesis, played by Topanga Lawrence in Boy Meets World. So this is definitely a card of sort of letting karma sort things out. There is an element to Nemesis that could get sort of vengeful, but if you are in balance, this card means that you can sit back, relax, let all of your resentments go, and allow the universe to sort out who gets rewarded and who gets, I don't like the word punished, but gets their just desserts. So if you've been holding on to any resentments, the general collective is definitely holding on to some anger and some hurt around some issues, and that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be taking action around the things that we believe in, but when it comes to actually wishing ill on other human beings, that's not great for your karma. So rather than wishing ill on fellow human beings, why not shift your perspective and just wish that things work out for the highest good? Because if you honestly believe that you are on the right side of any argument, be it global or personal, then wishing for the highest good for everyone involved in the situation will have a way of sorting things out. So be a little more hands-off as far as it comes to punishments that you're wishing on other people, and instead try and find a way to embrace the highest good of the situation. So that is our first message under this Cancer new moon, and I definitely feel like the rest of the messages are going to be very tied to emotionally heightened situations. So just take a deep breath, maybe grab yourself a cup of water to drink throughout the readings, and we're going to dive in. So in honor of this being the Cancer new moon, we are going to be using the Moon Child Tarot, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and we're going to start with our water signs. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I'm going to shuffle up the deck and draw an energy and an advice for this new moon as to what you can expect. So for our water signs, we have an energy underneath the deck of the Five of Pentacles, an advice on top of the Eight of Cups. So water signs, you might be feeling a little stressed right now, and that's okay. We're all allowed to have a little stress in our lives, but the Five of Pentacles is indicating that there might be a little stress, particularly around home, family, and finances, that's just kind of getting to you. It's getting underneath your skin. And the advice that the universe has for you right now is to recognize that there are some things that you can walk away from. And I get the feeling from these cards that it's not necessarily walking away and completely shutting a door on a situation, which I know as a Cancer, we have a tendency to sometimes want to do. There's a little overly dramatic Sorry, fellow Cancers. There's a little overly dramatic energy that feels really good to just be like, I'm gonna shut that person out of my life because of this minor indiscretion. But this isn't so much about like shutting something out forever. It's about just knowing that you can walk away from a situation when it's not currently serving you and then have the opportunity to come back to it later. So that's gonna be much better than depleting your energy, focusing on things that you can't control or can't fix right now, and really giving yourself basically a break. And there might be some situations that you are walking away from permanently, but it shouldn't feel super dramatic. I get the feeling from this walking away that if you're doing this in reference for your highest self and the highest good for all involved, it's not so much that you are cutting something out of your life because it feels really toxic and you feel kind of resentful. It's about walking away in the name of self-care and then recognizing that the universe will guide you back to the things naturally when you're ready to conquer them. So walk away with a sense of peace, a sense of blessing for the situation and releasing it. And then just look for the signs on when you're feeling pulled back to something. And when that pulling back to something feels healthy and not really stressed and controlling. So that is my message for you, water signs. Moving forward, we are going to go into our fire signs. So Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. I'm going to shuffle up the deck and find out what this new moon has in store for the opposite element of what we're in. Fire signs, I kind of wonder, do you feel a little more out of place whenever the moon is in a sign that is opposite element to you? Is this particularly interesting for you to have to deal with the emotions that come up with a water moon? Be curious. So the energy for fire signs underneath the deck is the Eight of Wands. And the advice on top is shadow work. I think the cards just answered my own question. This is really indicating that fire signs might be going through the little thick of their emotions and some energy that needs to be cleansed. The Eight of Wands does indicate that there might be a little bit of a spotlight on you right now. You might feel like you're kind of under a microscope. This could be in a good way and that you're getting attention for something that you've done in the world or attention at work. Or it also could be that you just feel like those around you are kind of pressuring you to do certain things or be a certain way. And through that, it's bringing up some emotions. But because your advice card is the shadow work card, you gotta be willing to get in the muck. And what better time than under a Cancer new moon? Cancer new moon is all about emotions and being able to deal with your emotions and dredge them up like all the muck at the bottom of the lake. And fire signs, that's what you're being called to do under this new moon. You're being called to let all of that muck from the bottom come up. So I would like to compare it to sweeping a pool. If you've ever done that or seen that done, where you sweep the bottom of the pool and all the dirt comes up to the surface and the water looks super murky, but then the filter pulls it out, you are going through that process under this new moon. So allow yourself to do the sweeping, because if you don't do the sweeping, the water might be looking slightly cleaner for a little bit, but it's accumulating more dirt in the long run. So you really need to journal it out, maybe seek out some therapy, or whatever your therapeutic work is, seek that out. So maybe it's energy healing, maybe it is meditation, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's an actual meeting with your therapist. All of them are great. And maybe branch out from what you normally would do. Try and see where you've been guided to share some of these emotions. And I really recommend professionals in this field, whether it be energy work, whether it be therapy, or whether it be some other sort of healing modality. I would say don't mess around with amateurs during this time period. You really want to seek out someone that's experienced, someone that knows how to hold the space for you so that you can feel comfortable sharing these emotions. So fire signs, I hope that that helps you under this Cancer new moon. Moving on, we'll go into our earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth signs. Your energy for this Cancer new moon from underneath the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. And your advice is the Ace of Pentacles. Earth signs, you're being set up to feel pretty comfortable with whatever's coming up for you in this Cancer new moon, because you have two Pentacles cards, and Pentacles are the earth element. So you are very much in your element underneath this Cancer new moon. So that's got to feel refreshing. I know that sometimes a little extra element of water and emotion might feel a little murky for you earth signs, might feel a little vulnerable to be able to share your emotions or to have emotions that you share. Not that earth signs don't have emotions, but have emotions that are so overpowering that you feel like they need to come to the surface. But this is basically telling me that through being able to share emotions in a way that feels comfortable to you, you're actually going to start movement forward, particularly in regards to home and business. So if you're feeling like stoicism is the best method of action when it comes to your work or your business or your family life, know that there is a little bit of a crack in that door that says maybe sharing some of your emotions isn't all that bad. I don't get the feeling that this is a huge heart-to-heart or a huge even blow-up of emotions that comes streaming out, but this is definitely saying like, hey, if your partner is annoying you with some of their habits, don't bottle that up. Like, just let it trickle out slowly so that there's not this huge combustion later on. And through that, you're gonna start to find movement forward. And because of that, you might even find a new opportunity within your home, your family, or your finances. So I'm getting a little bit of both. So some earth elements here, being able to share your emotions, particularly at work, is going to offer you up a business opportunity. For those of you that are sharing your emotions at home, there's going to be a new element that comes into your home and your family life. There's something about being able to talk to, maybe it's a partner. I get a strong feeling that there are earth signs out there that do need to talk to a partner about something that's going on in their emotional life. And as you talk to that partner, it might bring up topics that you guys haven't talked about. And it's going to bring a new opportunity that could potentially bring you closer and bring you more security within your home. So know that there is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is a good that comes from this vulnerability. And again, it doesn't have to be something that earth signs feel too uncomfortable with. It's not like you're sitting down with a box of Kleenex and really hashing it out for like 3 hours. It's just little tiny honest comments about how you're feeling. And you can sprinkle them throughout the day, throughout the week, and through opening up that tiny crack in the door, I think that you're going to open up a dialogue with the people around you that's really going to lead you to a whole new level of security. So earth signs, I hope that that served you well. Moving on to our last air elements, we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So for my air signs, what do we have going on for this Cancer new moon? So air signs, underneath the deck, your energy for this new moon is the Emperor. And on top of the deck, literally fell off the top because it couldn't wait any longer, the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords coming in as your advice card bodes really well because the swords are the air element. So just like our earth signs were very much in their earth element, your advice for this is going to feel very fitting within your own energy, air signs. So air signs, your energy of being the Emperor actually tells me that you are being called to step into a greater sense of your own power. The Emperor is definitely the boss energy. It is the energy that can kind of see the big picture of things. It doesn't get too caught up in the minutia. It gets more involved in where are you headed? What is your 5-year plan? What is your 10-year plan? Where are you going with your day-to-day actions? So if you haven't been focusing on the big picture lately, this new moon is going to open up that energy. And then the advice card coming in with the Knight of Swords indicates that there is swift action that you should be able to take within the weeks following this new moon. Because as you start to look at the big picture, you're going to start to see some opportunities that you can take action on right now. So I encourage you to sit down and do some sort of self-evaluation of what you want 6 months from now in your life, what you want a year from now in your life, and even up to 5 and 10 years, because that larger picture is going to give you more clarity on what you need to do tomorrow to make your dreams happen. And the Knight of Swords is very much about having swift action and acting on impulse. So as you're doing this plan, something comes up for you that feels like you want to start working on that right away. You don't have to wait for that 5-year plan to come to fruition. You can start tomorrow on that dream. So that is the message that's coming through the cards for you under this Cancer new moon. Air signs, I wish you the best of luck with that. So if you enjoyed these elemental readings, if they resonated for what's going on in your life right now, and you want to know more about what's going to happen under this Cancer new moon, we're going to dive into the larger reading over at patreon.com/Michelle Shea. The monthly mystic level for $11 is going to get you access to this, the full moon events every month, the other extended reading for the full moon, the weekly pick of cards, the monthly tarot scopes, and if you decide to bump one more level up, you get some merch goodies. So head over there, check out the levels, see what feels comfortable for you, and maybe check out this extended reading. And if you are watching this on the Patreon, the rest of your reading starts right now.